Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with the same module, that is object-oriented programming, and the same chapter, that is chapter number 8, inheritance. In the last class we have discussed about that how to make the private member inheritable. So let's start with the previous class session, then move to the today's session, that is a multi-level inheritance. So first of all, making a private member inheritable, that is how to make the private member inheritable, because we have studied that whenever there is a private member that are not inherited, that is they are not able to get into the derived class. So how to access the private member, or how to make them private member if there is a need to make the private member inheritable. So how to make the private member inheritable. So to make the visibility modifier, to make the third visibility modifier, that is the protected. So C++ provides a new method to make the private member inheritable, that is known as the protected. That is one of the major limitation, or that is one of the major advantages that is used, that is protected. So whenever we declare the member as a protected, that is accessible by the member functions within a class and any class that is immediately derived from it. So any member can access it, or any member can follow the rules and regulation that is followed by the protected class. It cannot be accessed by the functions outside these two classes. So whatever the classes that is accessed, that is protected members, can only be accessed within the two classes only. They are not shared with the another classes. So we have seen how to make the private member inheritable by using the next visibility modifier, that is a protected modifier. So a member declared as a protected is accessible by the member functions within its class and any class immediately derived from it. So any class who is derived from the base class is able to use each and every member function by using the data members, or using the data members by using the member function. It cannot be accessed by the functions outside these two classes. That is, in case of protected, that is limited to only the base class and the derived class. This is the example that we have discussed. There are three modifiers that is used. One is the private, one is the protected, one is the public, right? So explanation is also given over here. When a protected member is inheritable or inherited in public mode, it becomes protected in the derived class too. And therefore is accessible by the member functions of the derived class. That is, it is used for the derived class derivation, that is a protected mode. This is a diagram that shows whether the protected inheritable or heritable. The keywords private, protected and public may appear in any order and in any number of times in the declaration of a class. This is example that is given. There is a class that is beta, there is a protected, public, private and the public is a valid class definition. So this is a valid class definition that is given. However, the normal practice is to use them as follows. The normal practice is use them as follows. What is the practice? That is there is a beta, then protected, then public. So it is also possible to inherit a base class in the protected mode, that is known as the protected derivation. In protected derivation, both the public and the protected members of the base class become protected members of the derived class. Table 8 show summarizes how this will be used. So this is a table that is used. So what are the various functions that can have access to these members, that is the protected members? These are the this is the table that shows visibility of the inherited members. There is a private, there is a protected, there is a public. There is a public derivation, private derivation and the protected derivation. So these are the three types of derivation or the visibility mode that is used. One is the public, one is the private, one is the protected. Right. So this is the class X, class Y, there is a friend class Y, class Z, class X. So this is the access mechanism in the classes. Next is your multi-level inheritance. That is the next topic, that is how to use the multi-level inheritance. So till now we have studied about the single inheritance and how to make the private member inheritable. That is how to use the private member as a inheritance, or how to inherit the private members. Now the next one is multi-level inheritance, that is one base class becomes another, or one derived class becomes another base class, or becomes a base class for another derived class. That is your multi-level inheritance. So it is not uncommon that a class is derived from another derived class as shown in figure 8.7. The class A serves as a base class for the derived class B. So this is a figure that shows, this is 8.7, that B class is a subclass or the derived class for the A, but it becomes a base class for the another derived class, that is C. For example, this is a base class, this is the intermediate base class. Why? Because this base class or this class becomes a base class for this derived class, that is a C. This is a derived class. This is a grandfather, father, and the son, that is your child. The class A serves as a base class for the derived class B, which in turn serves as a base class for the derived class C. So there are three classes A, B, C. So A is the base class for the B, and B is the base class for the C. The class B is known as the intermediate base class since it provides a link for the inheritance between A and C. So this is the class that is the intermediate base class, that is used as a intermediate, or the provides the intermediate between the base class. The chain ABC is known as the inheritance path. So this chain is known as the inheritance path, that is A, B, and C. This is the A, this is the B, this is the C. That is your multi-level inheritance. Next point says a derived class with multiple or multi-level inheritance is declared as follows. So a derived class that is used with the multi-level inheritance, that is declared as follows. There is a class A, class B, class C. There are three classes. Class A, that is your base class, class B, that is derived from the A, class C, that is the derived from the B. So B is the derived class that is derived from the class A, and C is also derived class that is derived from the A. So there is a class B, then public A, then class C, then public A. This process can be extended to any number of classes or any number of levels. So this can be extended to n number of levels or any number of classes. Let us consider a simple example. Assume that the test result of a batch of students are stored in a different classes or three different classes. So there are three different classes that is available, that is used. There is a class student that stores the roll number, class test that stores the marks obtained in two subjects, and the class result that contains the total marks obtained in the test. So there are three classes, that is the student, test, and the result. Student contains the roll number, test contains the marks obtained in two subjects, and the result contains the total marks that is obtained in the test. The class result can inherit the details of the marks that is obtained in the class and the roll number of the students through multi-level inheritance. That is, the class result can inherit the details of the marks that is obtained in the test and the roll number of the student through multi-level inheritance. Why multi-level? Because that is a one derived class becomes the base class for another derived class. So this is the example. There is a class student. There is a protected data member, that is the roll number. Then there is a public. Then there are two member functions that is used, that is void get number and the void put number. So there are two members that is used, that is the get number and the put number. Then there is a class, that class will be closed. So one protected member is used, two public members are used, that is the get number and the put number. Then void student, that is the name of the class. Then there is a scope resolution operator. Then there is a get number, that is int a. The roll number equals to a, that is the a value will be assigned to the roll number, that is the roll number equals to a. That is the get number. So the a will be assigned to the roll number variable. Then word student put number, that is a put number is the next variable that is used, or the next member function that is used. There is a C roll number, that is C out roll number, that is used to display the roll number. So this will be used to display the roll number. So one member function that is used, that is a get number, to get the number from the user. One is used as a put number to display the roll number on the screen. That is your first class, that is a student class, that is used to get the roll number of the student and display the roll number of the student. Then the next one is test, that is the first level derivation, that is a test class is derived from the base class, that is a student. So there is a class test that is derived, that is there is a single colon, then there is a public student. So it is publicly derived from the class, that is a student. Then in the protected, there are two data member that is used. One is the float as sub1, that is a subject 1, then there are subject 2. So this takes the marks of the two subjects, that is a subject 1 and there is a subject 2. Then there is a public, there are two member function that is used. One is the get marks, one is the put marks. There are two variable that is used, there is a float, there is a float. Then put marks, that is a void. So this is also used for getting the marks from the user and display the marks on the display screen. But in getting the marks, there are two variable that is used, there are two argument that is used, that is of both of float type. And in put marks, there is a single argument that is used, that is a void that contains the null values, and there is a closing of the class, there is a closing semicolon, right? So there is a test, there is a student, that is a first level derivation, that is a test class is derived from the student. Then there is a void test, then there is a get marks, that is a void test means that is also taking the class, or that is also used to display the or give the definition of the member function. This is the get marks. There are two variable, two argument that is used, that is the x and the y. The subject 1 contains the x value, subject 2 contains the y value, and there is a closing of this member function. This is a member function that is used for the get marks, right? Then there is a put marks that is used, that is a void test put marks. Then marks in subject 1, that is the subject 1. So subject 1 marks will be displayed as it is, that will display that contains the value of x and y. So user will enter the marks of the various subjects, like subject 1 and the subject 2, that is x and the y. Then there is a class result, that is the next class, that is also derived from the another class, that is a test. So test becomes a intermediate base class, that is a intermediate base class means there is a class that is a student, then there is a class that is a test, then there is a class that is a result. So one is a student, one is a test, one is the result. So result is a second level derivation that is derived from the class test, and test is a class that is derived from the student. So there are the private member declared, that is a total. Then there is a public, that is a function that is used, that is a void display, that is only used to display the value that is given. So in result, addition of the roll number, addition of the marks, that is total marks, that is in a subject 1, subject 2, that will be used, that is a class result public test, that is a second level derivation. And then there is a public, that is a void display void, and there is a closing of the class. So the class result after inheritance from grandfather through father will contain the following member. So when a class result is declared, how it can get, or what are the various value, what are the various data members and the member functions is used to get the values. So first of all, it contains the total, that is its own member, then protected, that is a roll number that is inherit from the student via test. Then there are two marks, so it contains all the three values, that is a roll number, subject 1 and the subject 2. Then there is a public, there are various member functions that is also derived. One is the get marks, one is the put marks, one is the display, then get number, put number. So these are the 5 data member function that is used, that is the get number, put number, get marks, put marks, and the display function. So it means it can inherit every function, every member function that is available either in the test class, either in the student class, that is also accessible or that is also occupied accessible using the member functions. The inherited function, that is the put number and the put marks, can be used in the definition of display function. So this is the explanation of or definition of the display function. That is a result, then there is a display void, then total equals to sub1 plus sub2. That is the marks of the different subjects are added together. That is the subject 1 and the subject 2, and it is displayed or it is stored in the variable that is a total. Then there is a put number that is called, then there is a put mark. So with the use of put number, the marks will be displayed, the roll number will be displayed. With the help of put marks, the marks will be displayed. Then see how total equals to total. Then there is the closing of the curly braces. So here is the simple main function. This is the main function that is used. So this is the definition of the member function, that is a display. Right. Then there is a int main. So there is a result. Last class is that the last class means the last inherit class is result. That is a result. So there is a result. Then student 1. So student 1 is the object that is created. That is student 1. Then it is object is used to get the various members, to get the various member function with the help of dot operator. That is student 1 dot get number. Then student 1 dot get marks. That is the get number is a member function that is accessed using the object that is a student 1. Then get number, that is 111. Then get marks, there are two float values that is used, that is 75.0 and the 59.9. So this contains, or this takes only one argument, that is 111. That is a roll number, that is a get marks, get number. This is the get number. So roll number is 111, and the put marks is, that is the get marks is 75.0 and the 59.5. And then there is a display function that is used to display. This is the display function that is used to display the total of the marks, total of the marks that is given, that is subject 1 plus subject 2. That is student 1 dot display. Then there is a return 0. Then there is a closing curly braces, right? So there is int main, then there is a return 0. So this will display the result of the student 1. This is a multi-level inheritance that is given. There is a hash include IO stream. So this is the complete program that is given. So first of all, there is a hash include IO stream. Then there is a student. There is a protected, that's a roll number. Then get number, put number. There are two member functions that is used. Then there is a void student, that is a get number int a. That is a get number is a member function that is used, that is derived from the student. Then roll number equals to a, that is the a value will be assigned to the roll number. So whatever the value that is occupied or that is entered by the user, that is stored in the roll number. Then void student put number, then cout roll number equals to roll number. Then class test public student, that is the test will be used. Class, that is derived class from the class student. Then there are two member function, two data member, that is the subject 1 and the subject 2, and there are two member function, that is the get marks and the put marks. Then void test, that is the definition of the get marks function. There are two values that is assigned, so x value will be assigned to subject 1 and the y value will be assigned to subject 2. Then there is the put marks, that is used to show the marks in various subjects, that is the subject 1 and the subject 2. Then there is a result, that is a class result. There is a public, that is a test, that is a second level derivation that is used. Then float total, that is the total is the name of the function, name of the, we can say the name of the variable, that is private by default. Then there is a public void display void, that is used to display the void function. Then void result display void. that is used to display the output. Then total equals to sub1 plus sub2. Then put number, put mark, that is used to call the function. This is the function declaration. Then cout total equals to total, then there is a slash n. Then there is a int main, and the object will be created, that is the student1. Then student1 dot get number, that is used. Then student1 dot get marks, that is assigned the two values, that is 75.0 and the 59.5. Then display will be used to display the functions, and then there is a return 0. So this will display the output like as this one. This is the roll number, that is a 111. Then there is a marks in subject 1, that is 75.0. Then marks in the subject 2, that is 59.5, and the total marks is 134.5. So this is a multi-level inheritance. So there are three classes that is used. First class is your student class, that is used to get the roll number. Next class is used, that is derived from the student class, that is a test class, that is used to store the marks in two subjects, that is the subject 1 and the subject 2. And another class is display class, or the total class, or the we can say last class is your result class, that is a result that is derived from the class test, because test contains each and every member, each and every feature that is available in the student. So result is derived from the test. So automatically or by default it takes the value, or automatically it takes the value from the student also, right? So automatically it gets the value from the student, that is also available in the class result, because it derived from the test and the test derived from the student. So logically it also contains each and every member of the class student. Then at last the result will be displayed, and the last class result that is used to display the total marks, that is your 134.1. So this is the multi-level inheritance. In this, the test class, that is the intermediate class, intermediate base class, becomes the base class for the next class, that is your result class, and becomes a derived class for the upper class, that is the student class. So this is your multi-level inheritance, right? Now next is multiple inheritance. So we have discussed till now single inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Now next part is multi-level inheritance, that is how to use a multi-level, or what is a multi-level, next is multiple inheritance, that is what is multiple inheritance, that is one base class and there are multiple derived classes, that is your multiple inheritance. There is one base class and there are multiple derived classes, that is multiple inheritance, right? So first of all, let's take a break, then move to this topic, that is a multiple inheritance. So let's take a break first of all. So come back from the break. Now let's start the session again. The next topic is your multiple inheritance. So till now we have studied about the multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Now next is your multiple inheritance. That is, there is a single base class and there are more than one derived class. That is your multiple inheritance. So class can inherit the attributes of two or more classes. No, 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 no. Multiple is different. That is, there is one derived class, but there are multiple base classes. There is no single base class. There is a single derived class, but there are multiple base classes. So this says a class can inherit the attributes of two or more classes. This is known as multiple inheritance. That is, yeah, multiple inheritance means there is one derived class and there are more than one base classes. That is your multiple inheritance. This allows us to combine the features of several existing classes. That is, there is a single base derived class and there are multiple base classes. So every base class has some features. So multiple inheritance allows to combine the various features of the existing classes as a starting point for defining new classes. It is like a child that inherits the physical property features of one parent and the intelligence of another. That is, for example, if a child, that is a combination of the father and the mother, right? So father has some attributes, mother has some intelligent power. So boy or the girl, that is a child can take, or child will take the properties from the father as well as from the mother. That is in the physical terms, that is in the relational terms, that is in the IQ level, that is any term, that is the intelligent power. This is a multiple inheritance, that is there is a single derived class and there are multiple base classes. This is B1, B2, there are Bn, there is a D, that is a derived class. So more than one base class is used with the single derived class, that is your multiple inheritance. This is the syntax how it is used. For example, this is a derived class that is used, that is a class D. This is the syntax. Then there is a visibility mode, that is for example private or the protected, and then there is a B1, that is a base class 1, there is a B2, there is base class 2, B3, base class 3, and so on till Bn. Then there is a body of the D, that is D will be, or the body of the D means the definition of the D, that is the class D. Where visibility may be either public or private, that is there are two visibilities, that is either public or private. No protected mode will be used. So this is the example that is used, that is class P, then public M, public N, that is there is a class that is used, that is the P, that contains two variables that contain, or that is inherit the properties from the two classes, that is the M and the N, publicly. That's why it is opted that the public M and the public N, that is the M is also inherit from the public point of view and the N is also inherit from the public point of view. Then there is a public void display, that is the display is the name of the function that is used, that contains no argument, no return type. Then there is a closing of the class and there is a semicolon that is used to close the class. Then classes M and the N have been specified as follows. Now this is what the content that is available in the class M and the N. So this is the class M, there is a protected part, that is the int M. Then there is a public part, that is a void get M. So getM is the name of the function, that member function that is used, and int is the argument and the void is the return type. And the data member, that is a protected part, that is the int M. But remember, when we use the derived class that is derived from more than one base class, that does not use the protected visibility modifier. They only use the only two modifiers, that is either public or the private. This is class M, then there is a protected int M, there is a public void get M. Then there is a closing of the class, there is a semicolon. So this is the explanation of the function, that is a get M, there is a int x, then x will be assigned to the M. That is the value of x will be assigned to the M variable. So whatever the value of the x that is given by the user, that is assigned to the M. Then class N, that is the next class. The protected part is int N. There is a int N that is used, that is the data member that is used, that is a protected part, that is a protected part that can be accessible by any of the function, any of the class that is using the class, that is either base class or the derived class. Then there is a get N, that is a getting the number, that is a get N, that has a no return type, but the argument that is passed, that is the value that is taken is of int. Then there is a closing of the class and there is a semicolon that is used. Then void N, this is the get N definition, get N member definition, that is get N. Then N equals to Y, that is assigns the value of Y to the N. Then there is a closing of the curly braces. The derived class, that is class P, as declared above, would in effect contains all the members of M and N in addition to its own member as shown below. That is the derived class, that is the P, that contains each and every member that is available, that contains every member that is shown below. This is the class P. Then there is a protected, that is the int M and the int N, that is from M from N. Then there is a public, then there are three data members that is used, or three member function that is used, that is get M, get N, get display. Why? Because P is the derived class that is derived from more than one classes, that is a M and the N. So it contains each and every member of the classes, that is the M and the N. So there is a protected M and the N, data members are also available, and each and every member functions are also available, that is a get M, get N, and the display function. Then there is a scope curly braces closed, then there is a semicolon that is used. The member function display can be defined as follows. So this is defined as follows, that is the display function. There is a cout, then M equals to M variable, then N equals to display the functions variable of the N, then cout M into N, that is display the M into N. So this is the three cout that is used to display different values, and there is a closing of this function, that is a display function. So that means P contains, or P gets the data P contains the value from the two base classes, that is the M and the N. So it contains each and every data member that is contained in either M or either contained in either N. Then in display function there is a in the P class there is a display function that is used to represent the various values, that is M and the N. The main function which provides the user interface may be written as follows. So the main function that provides the user interface gives the user interface may be written as follows, may be given as follows. There is a main function, then there is a capital P, there is a small p, then p dot getM, that is a getM is the name of the function that is used. So whenever the getM is used, it directly calls to the getM function, that is the definition of the getM function. Then getN 20, then it will directly jump to the definition of the getN function. Then p dot display, that is used to display the each and every member, each and every variable that is used, that is a display function. So one is getM, one is getN, one is the display function. This is the definition of the getN, this is the definition of the getM. So first of all, taking the values of the N, M, then display the values of the M and N. That is a multiplication of M and N. Then this is the subject, that is the object that is used. Then figure 8.4 shows the entire code illustrating how all the three classes are implemented in multiple inheritance. So how it will be used. This is a multiple inheritance that is used. There is a hash include iostream.h. There is the class M, that is the name of the class. There are the only one data member that is used, that is the M. Then public void getM, that is the data member that is used, that is of getM. Then there is a closing of the class, there is a closing of the semicolon, that is the semicolon is used. Then class N, there is a protected part, there is a private part, that is a getN, that is taking the values of the N. So one is the M, one is the N. Then there is a P that is derived from the both the classes, both the base classes, that is the M and the N. There is a display member function that is used, that is a void display. Then this is the definition of the getM, that is simply getting the value of the X and stored in the M. Then next is getting the value of Y and stored in the N, that is the getN. Then display function simply prints the value of the M and N, and then prints the output, prints the multiplication, that is M into N. Then there is a int main function, then there is a P object that is used, then P dot getM, P dot getN, then P dot display. There is a return 0. So whenever the getM is used, it will give the value to the M first of all, that is a 10. Whenever getN, it gives the value to the N, that is a 20. Then display both the 10, 20 and the multiplication of 10 and 20, that is a 200. So this is M, that is 10, N, that is 200, then M into N is 200. Sorry, M, 10, N, 20, M into N is 200. Now, there is ambiguity that is used in the inheritance. That is, there is a conflict that is available in the inheritance. So, this I will see in the next class. No, I will see just a minute.